Hi, this is a reading from Clash of the Kingdoms by Brian France of Charisma Ministries. Brian's awesome personal story is in Radical Lives Volume 1 as well. War in Heaven. The atmosphere was tense with aggression and hatred, as it always was when Satan was close by. The fear by which he controlled his demons was physically tangible, and as he sat as an oppressive force over them all. His visible anger and irritation being held in check, but leaving no doubt that they were experiencing the calm before the storm. In his form as the great red dragon stood Satan, dribbling smoke from his nostrils, a sure sign that his internal fire was kindled. His great scaly tail wove menacingly from side to side, graphically illustrating the level of rage and irritation residing within him. His demonic presence commanded the attention of his subordinate demons, with his bellowing voice being heard by all as he yelled at his demon warriors, "You will kill and destroy all who oppose me, or I will destroy you." Satan snarled as he bullied and growled at the demons before him. "Know that I will reign supreme, and if all of you have to die to maintain me as Lord Satan, then so be it, for you are expendable. I care nothing for your lives. You are scum, and I loathe your very existence." He belched red and green flames as he spoke, shambling up and down before his assembled forces. His great tail flailing from side to side as anger and hatred poured from his being. The army of demons with their gruesome reptilian features, black helmets, and formidable weapons stood before Satan, their commander-in-chief. Their swords and battle axes presented a challenge of horrendous proportions to the angels opposing them. Every demon's evil intent was apparent from the aggression they emitted and could be heard from their grunts as they struck their shields in a rhythmic challenge to the angels facing them. The archangel Michael, captain of the hosts of heaven's armies, stood before his angel warriors, arrayed in their battle formations. Facing this formidable demonic foe, every angel knew they must fight courageously and die if necessary to prevent an evil and eternal spiritual abyss from opening up and swallowing them and everything they valued. A young demon in the front rank of Satan's forces was terrified at the thought of conflict and death. With a trembling voice full of fear, he said he did not want to die and would prefer to leave. The sound of his voice had barely died away when Satan reacted. With bulging red eyes which looked as though they might burst from their sockets, he turned to face the frightened wretch who dared to speak. He growled dangerously, "Afraid to fight and die, are you? So die you shall." A streak of orange flame leapt from the great dragon's mouth with a crack that sounded like a high-voltage discharge and arced towards the demon. He screamed as it hit him and was instantly engulfed in flames. His screams intensified as his body burned and was consumed by the fire. In a few seconds, all that remained was a small mound of carbon ash and the smell of sulphur. The effect the execution of this young demon had on the rest of the demons was electric. They opened their mouths and outpoured a cacophony of speech born of fear. "Don't kill me, Lord Satan. I will always serve you," others exclaimed amongst the general hubbub of shouting and noise. "You are my Lord, and I worship you, Satan. My life is yours, and I live for you. Don't kill me." Satan restored order by standing on his massive hind legs, raising his nostrils vertically and roaring whilst emitting a volcano-like eruption of flame and smoke. Silence quickly ensued, and then he spoke in a loud, low growl. "I have told you what to do. You will destroy and kill those who oppose me, and I will have your obedience. You will obey me and kill or be killed. You are to ravage my enemies and impart them to death and destruction. Do you understand? Death and destruction! Death and destruction! The cry of death and destruction was taken up by all of the demons as they drew their swords and brandished them above their heads. Screaming at the top of their voices, they worked themselves into a frenzy of aggression and hatred. Satan saw what was happening and ground his teeth in satisfaction, whilst growling deep in his throat and firing flames of encouragement over the heads of his demon army. Death and destruction! Death and destruction! Death and destruction! Their frenzy deepened as they shouted, stamped their feet, and brandished their swords and battle axes. They fed off each other's growing momentum to kill and destroy as they gave free rein to their insatiable appetite for violence. They voiced their desire by screaming their war cry with all the power with which their lungs were capable. The angels saw and heard all that was happening, and also heard Michael's order to regroup. They closed ranks and reshaped their formations, their regiments forming a hollow square, and within each regiment the battalions, brigades and companies occupied their own space, with their commanding officers taking up their positions before them. Michael spoke to them in a loud, clear voice. This day corruption has entered this most holy place, but we must stand firm and uphold the values of heaven. Our loyalty and devotion to the Lord must never be in doubt, and the perfection of his kingdom will be established. He continued, we are angels who inhabit the realms of glory, and our courage and skill as members of the army of the Lord of hosts is about to be tested. Today we will fight under heaven's banner with holiness and righteousness as our breastplate, in the sure conviction that we will defeat the Lord's enemies and cleanse his kingdom of all unrighteousness. Be bold, be brave, for the Lord your God is with you. I'll leave it there. It is a gripping story. Supernatural fiction. This amazing book is available from your nearest online store or Christian bookstore or wildsidepublishing.com. Have a neat day. Bye.